a look at this.
Isn't that the,
Maggie. Coming in as bold as brass. I never thought we'd see her again in Glasgow.
What's our skipper's name? McTaggart. Isn't he the one that caused all that trouble in the Kyles?
Aye. Well, they're asking for it this time.
Mr. McGregor, I'm still the master of this vessel and I know what I'm about.
If you had to come to Glasgow, could you not at least have waited till after it was done?
We've nothing to fear from any man or woman either. We'll only be here long enough to find ourselves a cargo and then we'll be off again. If Sarah or anyone else is watching for us, they'll be watching by night. You'd never expect us to have the effrontery to put in by day.
Sarah.
When you're finished with the lamps, laddie, will you grease the wire blocks?
Aye.
And there's 4 buttons missing on my other shirt.
Aye.
Where's Captain McTaggart?
He's away to Pollock's Shaws for his mother's funeral. He'll not be back for a fortnight.
We'll wait. Not a word. Aye. Oh, aye. You're very smug with your gold braid and your pensions and your 5 days a week. But you're no better than hirelings, standing like wee bairns there in front of Mr. Campbell's big desk down yonder. You haven't the freedom of operations that I have. You haven't the dignity of your own command. And as for my boat, there's not a finer vessel in the coastal trade. There's not a finer vessel anywhere. There's
2 men aboard us, in bowler hats.
Inspectors.
Hamish, there's no time for that. Come on.
Good luck to you, Skipper. You'll be needing it. Here, there's 7 owing. I've no change. You pay him, lad. Better grab him, Daniel. Look at something. When you know it's a wee boy to pay. There's only get something to Come on.
Aye, son. They tell me the truant officer's after you for going to sea before you'd finished with the school.
It's not true. I'm over 15.
Oh, well, you'll be able to finish your schooling now. That old puffer will not be putting out again.
She will.
Ah, it's high time Peter McTaggart was put ashore. He's no fit to manage a rowing boat.
You'll not say that about the captain.
Captain, him!
Come on! Get your hands off me! Let go!
The wee devil. Only 3 months out of school and he's bigger over the rest of them.
Is it a loading license?
Aye.
If they take that away, we'll not be able to carry any cargo at all.
Aye.
Not until she's had her plates repaired.
Aye.
Is that what we need the £300 for?
Aye, that's right. I tell you, McTaggart, she's finished.
Could we not borrow the money?
Who from? We can...
Excuse me.
We can offer him a quarter share in the Maggie for £300.
Ah, but what about Sarah?
But I could say my sister got a sort of a share in the boat. It's a family concern, and I'm acting on her behalf.
Aye, it's a good idea.
Good morning.
Good morning. We were wanting to speak with Mr. Campbell.
Well, Mr. Campbell's engaged at the moment and is already late for a luncheon appointment, but if you care to wait...
We can't afford to wait long. We've no time to waste.
Hello.
Look,
Well,
telephone and say I'm on my way.
Mr. Campbell, if you'll wait just one moment, I'm getting through now.
You've heard what Captain Jimison says, Mr. Pusey. His ship won't be ready before tomorrow night. We have no other vessel available.
Mr. Campbell, Mr. Marshall not going to like this. Mr. Marshall can be a very impatient man.
Impatient or not, I'm afraid I can't do a thing about it.
Hello, World International Airways. Is
Taxi
Mr. Pusey here? Would you put me through to Mr. Marshall, please? Yes, I'm phoning from Glasgow.
Mr. Campbell,
hold on.
if you can spare us a moment.
Cargo should have gone to Kiltara days ago. There are architects and builders waiting. Mr. Marshall's very anxious to have the house in good repair by his wife's birthday. I'm sure Mr. Marshall will pay the highest rate. Mr. Marshall? It's Pusey here, sir. No, I'm afraid it hasn't. There's been a further delay, Mr. Marshall. It's the shipping agency. They said...
There's a matter of business we would like to discuss with you, sir. If you
I'm sorry, McTaggart. I simply haven't the time. If you'll come back this afternoon after 3.
I've already tried everywhere, Mr. Marshall. There just isn't a boat of any description available for charter. Not before tomorrow night. And even then, they can't guarantee... I know, Mr. Marshall, but there just isn't a boat.
If it's a cargo for Kiltara you have, there's a boat right here.
What? I don't understand. Excuse me, Mr. Marshall. But, Mr. Campbell, just this minute. I'm sorry, Mr. Marshall. There seems to be some confusion here. Now they say there is a boat. But, Mr. Sir? The captain? Oh, are you the captain?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Marshall. Certainly. Mr. Marshall on the line. Calvin B. Marshall, General Overseas Manager. Well,
Oh, yes. Aye. Captain McTaggart speaking. Aye, we have. And you wanted to Kiltara by Thursday noon? Oh, easily. Insurance, £4,000. Oh, we'll see to that, sir. Aye. Who?
Mr. Marshall, I'm still not quite sure.
Pusey, you've been up there 3 whole days. Let's get this stuff moving. Just make sure it's a sound boat. That's all that matters. If you hurry, you can catch the afternoon plane. Right?
Yes, I think I... Will you tell me why, if a boat is available, Mr. Campbell didn't say so? He put me in a most embarrassing position.
I was just trying to explain to him, sir, that
Where is the boat lying?
only a couple of 100 yards down the road there.
If you don't mind, I think I'll just take a look at it. Now, where is the...
This way, sir.
Now, will you give me an estimate of the charges?
Well, it's difficult to say exactly. Maybe, perhaps £300.
That does seem rather high. However, the goods are lying at Customs House Dock, berth 17, checked and crated, ready for shipment. Mainly plumbing and heating apparatus, some timber, a deep freeze, a variety of materials, all extremely valuable.
Yes.
So I've been instructed to make certain that the ship is perfectly sound. Ah, yes. Well, I see no cause for concern on that score. Shall we go back to the office? Or better still, if we could settle the matter here.
Aye, that's a better idea.
I think in the circumstances I can agree to the 300, if you will just sign the inventory. In triplicate. Just one thing. I'd like Mr. Campbell to phone me tomorrow morning at my office so that I can be certain everything got away all right.
Oh, everything will get away all right.
You'll want something on account. I'll give you a cheque for...
Cash would be better if you can manage it, sir.
Well, I'm afraid I only have about £50.
That'll do fine, sir. You can let us have the rest when the job's done.
Well, I'm afraid I must... Goodbye.
Good day to you, sir.
And good luck to you.
Seems to me young laddie's the victim of a serious misunderstanding.
Ah, you didn't tell him a thing that wasn't true.
Ah, you wouldn't want him to deal with the CSS. The villains would only do him down.
It's a stove.
Aye. But Hamish, do you see this? 4 baths. All on the one island.
Come on now. Good night, a lot of you. Come on.
Good night.
That's time.
Good night.
Time.
I'll give you a hand.
Oh, here. A concertina.
I'll take that one.
Captain, sir,
Aye.
is it not about low tide?
Aye.
With all this cargo on board, are we no lying a bit low in the water?
Aye,
I
but...
mean, sir, is it not a bit dangerous going down this part of the river? Where there's...
Oh, just whisht. What do you know
You're
about
not the captain yet, laddie.
I was
You're
just...
getting far too cheeky. Away forward, make us some tea.
Hello? Just a moment. Mr. Campbell on the line, Mr. Pusey.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Campbell. I was rather anxious, so I thought I'd phone you. I trust the cargo got away all right. What? Well, the cargo on the boat, of course. What boat? Well, the boat I chartered yesterday.
You found a boat, then? Well done.
Found a boat? This man's quite impossible.
This lad is off his head. Aye? You made arrangements with whom? McTaggart?
What target? It's him there's all the fuss about down at the Brumelaw.
Oh. Mr. Campbell, in all my experience,
And it's still there. Well, Mr. Pusey, McTaggart has nothing to do with our organization. He's master of an old puffer. The puffer, Maggie.
No. Oh, no. That isn't possible.
Send Pusey in.
Hello?
And he gave me his signature.
Well,
He signed the infantry.
so?
So naturally, I chartered the boat.
And?
They weren't who they said they were. And Campbell says the cargo's not on the boat, it's in Glasgow. And the man you spoke to, he hasn't a boat at all, but something called a puffer. And instead of being well on its way to Kiltara, it's stuck on the subway and not even the right boat.
Just let me get one thing straight. You say a boat is stuck on a subway?
The subway lies under the river at this point. The subway is a menace to navigation.
You had no right to put out at that state of the tide. You may have damaged the roof and flooded
What
the whole
about the
lot.
damage to my ship?
Captain McTaggart.
Aye?
I'm from the Evening News. Would you care to make a statement?
You can say that I'm considering bringing an action.
Good for you. And what's your destination?
Kiltara,
And what are you carrying?
a very valuable cargo belonging to Mr. Calvin B. Marshall of World International Airways.
Kiltara, eh? Tell me, Captain. How do you think you'll get it off?
How do you think? I'll wait for the tide.
Ahoy! Captain Carlson, are you hanging on?
Mrs. Marshall asked me to remind you that you're giving a dinner party tomorrow night.
Let me have one.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're here in Glasgow, Mr. Pusey. Oh, I meant to ask you, when you were in my office the other day, did you by any chance take my fountain pen?
It doesn't matter. I want to speak to the manager. It's about the puffer, Maggie.
Well, I don't know if I like your tone, Mr. Pusey.
But, Mr. Campbell, But they were there in your office, Mr. Campbell. Well, if it isn't the CSS's responsibility, I'd like to know whose responsibility it is. But that's positively...
Here, let me talk to him. Mr. Campbell, Calvin B. Marshall speaking. I'm sorry to trouble you. Yeah, it seems that we're causing you quite a bit of... Yes, I just came up to get things straightened out. Yes, at the Central. Well, I'd be very much obliged to you if you could spare us a few moments of your time. Here? Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Well, I mean to say, if you're in a man's office and other people come into it and begin discussing the same subjects...
Take it easy, Pusey. There's no need to panic. It's not going to help matters any to try to blame Campbell for your mistakes.
Well, if I may say so, Mr. Marshall, the fact that you spoke to Captain McTaggart yourself...
Doesn't matter who's to blame. I'll have everything straightened out in an hour. You better book us some sleepers on the night train to London.
Hello? Hello, operator? He even had the effrontery to ask if I'd taken his fountain pen.
My name's Campbell. Oh, good evening, Mr. Pusey.
Good evening.
There's a reporter from the news and...
Good evening.
Step this way,
I
Mr.
want
Campbell.
to see this Mr. Marshall. I'm sorry, I'm afraid.
Oh, there's no need to be sorry. Just tell him that Sarah McTaggart is here and he'll see me soon enough.
How do you do, Mr. Campbell? You are very kind to give us your help in this manner.
Not at all, Mr. Marshall.
Can I offer you a drink?
Oh, I'll have a whiskey, thank you.
And a vichy water for me. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you.
Hello, room service.
Well, you can tell him right now.
Room service 234.
It's quite a boat. Is that McTaggart? Well, he's a crafty-looking old boy, all right. No wonder he was able to put one over on Pusey.
If I may say so, Mr. Marshall, I don't think a man would need to be very quick to leave Mr. Pusey behind.
Madam, I assure you...
This puffer that you hired.
We didn't hire a puffer.
But it says in the papers that you did.
Ah.
Are you good aboard her or are they not?
No. Yeah, but they won't be.
Then I want to see the owner.
No.
I won't be put off by I will not be cut off.
Put it down. Look, I don't want to have to go to the police, but I can tell you one thing right now. From the look of her and the way this character McTaggart navigates, I want my cargo off that boat. Nothing for me. If your boat's available from tomorrow morning, we can radio McTaggart to put
You can't do that. There's no radio.
Well, who ever heard of a cargo vessel without a radio?
You understand, they usually carry coal.
Coal? I've got 4,000 pounds worth of stuff on that boat that's taken me months to get together. How do I get in touch with him?
I can give you a list of harbor and pier masters and their telephone numbers.
Fine, I'll have Pusey get started on that right away because it's very important that I...
Here you are, then. This is the kind of man you are that would do a head to someone out of my
I beg your pardon, madam. Look, just a moment here, please. Who is this woman?
Sarah McTaggart, the legitimate owner of the puffer. And I'm here to tell you that whatever money you owe, it's to be paid to me, or I'll go to the police.
Well, Mrs. McTaggart...
Miss.
Well, Mrs. McTaggart, I'm sorry to have to inform you that I owe you no money at all. On the contrary, your father...
He's not my father. He's my brother, the black
Well,
man.
whoever he is, he stole practically 4,000 pounds worth of it. What? Who is this man?
I don't know, Mr. Marshall.
Fraser is the name, Mr. Marshall, of the Evening News.
What? You mean... Are you the one who thinks this is so funny?
Ahoy! Ahoy, McTaggart! You've to telephone the Central Hotel in Glasgow to a Mr. Marshall. Ahoy! McTaggart! McTaggart!
Yes, that's right, honey. It's just a routine business matter. What? Uh-huh. Well, yeah, either by train tonight or on the first plane tomorrow morning. Yeah. Well, if I stay over, I'll ring you later tonight. That's right, dear. Well, thanks for calling, honey. Bye-bye. Yes?
Mr. Marshall, I just had a call from the harbour master at Greenock, and he said to tell you that the Puffer arrived there.
Oh,
and...
great. Now, here's the plan. First, tell Pusey.
But they just turned around and sailed right out again.
See if you can get another half note out of her. She's not making more than 5.
She's making 6.
5 at the most.
She's making 6.
Then see if she'll make 7.
She can't make 7. What's the matter with you? You that don't even spend a penny to get our boilers clean.
Never mind about that. Did we to get to
Who
Kiltara?
was it got the boat stuck on the subway?
Mr. McGregor, I'll have no insubordination on board my vessel.
Insubordination? Who was it was too drunk to find me out of Campbelltown Harbour? Come out and face me like a man, you old goat. I'm going to resign. Do you hear me? I resign.
I'm sure that's him. Let's have another look.
If he does that again, let him have it. Both barrels. They're making for the Crinan Canal at Ardrishaig.
Where's the nearest place you can set us down?
Campbellton, sir. But if you hire a car, you can catch them before they get through the canal.
Will it not be the American? Mr. Marshall.
Oh, it's most unlikely. But if it is, he'll have seen how far we've come already. He'll know he's got nothing to worry about. Anyway, once we're in the canal, we'll be safe enough.
What kind of boat is it you're trying to catch, sir? Is it a puffer by any chance?
Yes.
Ah, they're grand boats, the old puffers, always getting into trouble. Did you read in the paper about the one that got stuck in the subway? McTaggart, her skipper is. Ah, there's a man for you. Only last month in Campbellton, I seen him drunk 3 times in the one day. And the engine...
Hamish.
What?
Pheasants.
Skipper?
Ship stores are getting low.
Aye. Off you go. Holy smoke, they've caught us. Well, look who's here. It's Mr. Pusey. How are you, sir? And what brought you all the way to Crinan? We thought you'd returned to London, sir. We didn't expect to find you here. Oh, man, your cargo's safe and sound. There's not a scratch in it. I don't think I've met this gentleman before. Is it Mr. Marshall himself by any chance?
That's right. And that's my cargo you got aboard this hulk.
Oh, listen, the Maggie's a fine old puffer.
Are you serious?
Oh, a coat of paint. And
You mean you
never
were really going
recognise
to
it.
take this thing out to sea?
We'll be in Kiltara not later than...
You may be, but not with my cargo.
Oh, but I don't really understand, Mr.
Listen.
Marshall.
I'm not going to say anything to you about your misrepresentation of fact.
But I...
When you showed Pusey the wrong boat.
Wrong boat.
You showed
You mean
me.
there's some
I
misunderstanding?
don't even want my 50 pounds back. It must have cost you something to get this far. What you're going to do now is turn this tub around. Go back to Ardrishaig, unload my cargo so I can get it on a good boat. And furthermore, I'm putting Mr. Pusey on to see that you do it.
Me, sir?
Yes, you, sir.
Mr. Marshall, I can assure you we're more capable of doing the job for you. There would be no sense at all in you going to additional expense.
What? Don't talk to me about expense. Now, look, If for any reason whatsoever, he hasn't got you in a drishig by 5 o'clock, call the police, right?
Yes.
Stay overnight in a drishig if you have to. But make sure the stuff gets on the right boat, and I'll expect you in London sometime tomorrow.
Are we ready to proceed? I said, are we ready to proceed?
We cannot go yet.
Why not?
We're waiting for the mate and the boy.
Where are the mate and the boy? They're poaching. I don't see anything amusing in breaking the law.
They're here somewhere. They'll not get away this time. Go fetch the constable.
You look over here. I'll take this side.
I know you're in there! Come out!
You're to come back to the boat at once.
Shh. They're after us.
Did you hear what I said? The boat is returning to our drishig at once.
Shh.
Shh. Take your hands off.
It's the lad.
Don't you manhandle me.
The lad.
The what?
If we're caught, it's jail for us.
I'll not be a party to any illegal...
Get down. They'll see us. If he catches us, we'll never get away at all.
But this is ridiculous.
Come out! You can't escape! Come out! Sir Charles! Where are you, sir? This way!
When he gets past that ditch, make a run for it.
Where's my hat?
Here, take this. Have too much to carry. Don't drop it. If they find it, we're sunk.
There they are! After them!
Please, this has nothing to do with me.
Hey! What are you doing in my woods?
If I go off.
You're poaching, aren't you? What are you doing in my woods?
Explain everything.
You're poaching, aren't you?
No.
I can't swim! I can't! Arrest that fellow! Arrest that!
Here he is!
Good digger.
Where's Mr. Pusey?
I don't know. He shoved the lead in the canal.
said Mr. Marshall wanted me to drop by and...
Oh, good evening, Mr. Fraser. Come in.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes?
There's nothing else to
They'll
say.
call me half an hour before train time. Sit down, won't you? Oh, I ask you, isn't that a little bit too much?
Too much, Mr. Marshall?
Well, you had a good laugh at my expense yesterday, so okay. But why must you make me out to be a complete fool?
Well, I certainly didn't intend to be offensive, sir.
Fraser, I'm in the transport business. It's my job. And if I say so myself, I have a certain reputation for being efficient, for getting the job done. Now, my shipment to Kiltara is purely personal. But even so, if some certain people happen to read your little stories, it wouldn't do me any good. Do you understand? Why make a career out of my difficulties?
Well, Mr. Marshall, these old puffers are public characters in Scotland. They're very popular.
Not very popular with me.
No, but they are held in great, well, I won't say esteem. Well, people like them. They have affection for them. Well, they're not much to look at, I admit. But there's something kind of heartwarming about them. Now, you're a big and important man in the transport world. You might not be able to see it. But they've got a touch of tradition, Mr. Marshall. Of the old, simple, live and let live. Of human values.
Well, this old man McTaggart's an out-and-out scoundrel, and you know it. That tub of his is a disgrace, and yet you seem to get a big kick out of it every time he gets away with murder.
Well, I admit that
Well, look, nobody's going to accuse me of not having a sense of humor. I like a joke just as much as the next fella, and I can take a joke just as much as the next fella. Hello?
I'm sorry to disturb you, Mr. Marshall, but I've just had a message from Captain Anderson at Ardrishig. He says he hasn't been contacted by anybody. The puffer hasn't returned.
What? What? Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. There must be some mistake. Yes, but... Mr. Camel, Pusey is actually on board. Now, how could they possibly...
Mr. Pusey's in the other line.
Hang on a second, will you, Mr. Camel? Pusey's just rung in. Hello, Pusey? Well, it's about time. Have they started loading the... What? Well, where are you? Where? Pusey, all I wanted you to do was to... Pusey, how could you possibly have gotten arrested for poaching?
Yes, sir. Yes, I will. Yeah, thank you. Good. That was Mr. Marshall. He's going to get onto our legal department immediately. We'll see how long I'm to remain in this.
That will be 3 shillings, sir.
Why can't I take a room at the inn?
I doubt you'll have to stay where you are until the sheriff's ready to see you.
The sheriff? Oh, you mean the magistrate? Look, I won't stand for this. I demand to speak to the magistrate. Who is he? What's his name?
He's the laird, the one you pushed in the canal.
If he doesn't get his cargo aboard our boat by tomorrow afternoon... thank you. He'll have to make other arrangements. He'll be lucky if he finds her. I wish I could see his face right now.
I want somebody from the legal department to fly to Glasgow at once. Whoever goes is to be fully briefed on the laws relating to poaching. It's to wait at the Central Hotel until Mr. Marshall contacts him.
Poaching?
Would you get me, Mrs. Marshall, please? Yes.
Is it true she's no idea what he's doing?
Yes.
Why?
It's supposed to be some sort of surprise.
Well, whatever's to be said against him, he's certainly generous.
Yes, when he has a reason. When I threatened to walk out on him last year, he doubled my salary.
Where do you figure they're headed for?
It looks like they're putting into Invercarron for the night.
Well, tell me, If they thought I thought they were going to Invercarron, where do you think they'd head for then?
Strathcathic, maybe.
I know this sounds silly, but if they thought I'd think they were going to Strathcathic because it looks as if they're going to Invercarron, where would they head for then?
My guess would be Pennymaddy.
Well, if there's such a thing as a triple bluff, I'll bet McTaggart invented it. Okay, Pennymaddy.
I'll have guessed we were making for Invercarron.
Will he not go there himself, then?
Oh, no, he'll know we know he's seen us, so he'll be expecting us to make for Strathcathic instead.
Well, then, shall I set her for Pennymaddy?
No, because if it should occur to him that it's occurred to us that he'd be expecting us to make for Strathcathic, then he'd think we'd be making for Pennymaddy.
Well, then, shall I set her for Penwhinoy?
Oh, no. We'll make for Invercarron just as we planned. It's the last thing he's likely to think of.
How much do I owe you?
Well, that'll be Ardnamesson to Pennymaddy, Pennymaddy to Strathcathac, Strathcathac to Invercarron. That'll be £12, please.
Well, there's £5. And £7 for yourself, right? Sonny. Hey, Sonny. Sonny, Sonny, do you know this puffer, the Maggie here? Well, Sonny, I just want to ask you a question. Do you know Captain McTaggart, the man that... You don't belong... Yes, I caught them at Invercarron. Now, how soon can the other boat get here? Oban? Yes, Mr. Camel, but... Well, it would mean I'd have to sail with them. I'm not going to let these lunatics out of my sight another minute. Oh, all right, if it'll save a whole day. Don't worry, it'll be there. What? What? Oh, just a minute, operator, just a minute. Give me a shilling, will you? It'll be there.
But is it worth your while going 30 miles to Oban, Mr. Marshall? It's sailing in the wrong direction. And we could be in Kintara in no time.
McTaggart, I can think of 19 reasons why you should be put in jail. Taking £50 under false pretenses, having Pusey put in jail for poaching. It cost me 2 days of aeroplanes at £16 an hour and enough on taxis to, well, to buy a fleet of taxis. I ought to sue you.
If I've offended you in any way...
But if you want to know the real reason I'm taking the cargo away from you, it's because nobody gets away with trying to make a monkey out of me.
"30 miles to Oban. Oh, many things might happen in 30 miles.
The engine.
I've just been thinking about the various things that might happen to prevent our getting to Oban by this afternoon, such as engine trouble. I think it's only fair to warn you, gentlemen, I built a better engine than that when I was 8 years old.
Mr. Marshall, sir.
Yes?
Of the feeling there's some fog coming on.
Fog?
Aye, might be wise to put it in somewhere.
What are you talking about? How can you tell?
Well, with the time of the year and that bit nip in the air and the way the wind's lying, you might call it seaman's instinct.
Tell me, McTaggart, are you out of your mind, or is it just that you think you've driven me out of mine? Fog. What's he doing that for?
Radar.
What do you mean, radar?
If it plops, we're okay. But if it rattles...
If it rattles, what?
Then we'll know we've made a mistake.
I want to ask you...
I'm taking her into Fiona Bay to beach her. It's all right. It's what she was built to do.
What makes you so sure we're going to get into Fiona Bay and not onto some rocks?
Well, I'm not sure that I could explain it to you, sir. It's what you might call a seaman's instinct.
Hey, it's 4 o'clock. Why didn't somebody wake me?
Well, you see...
never mind. Show me where we are on here.
Well, we're just there, sir.
All right, now where's the nearest place with a telephone?
Well, you could walk back to Invercairn, but that's over the hill there. But it'd be quicker to go to Lochmora. Just there, sir.
Well, that's 10 miles.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Come on, let's go.
What are you wanting me to come with you, sir?
You don't think I'm going to let you stay here and drift away again, do you?
Oh, the tide will not be in for hours. She's no on wheels, you know.
Come along anyway. The exercise will do you good. Come on!
Well, Alistair. Well, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Long distance. On the beach. I'm afraid there's no possibility of keeping Captain Anderson's boat another day. No. Oh, why, Lochmora, you're in luck. We have a cattle boat calling there tomorrow afternoon to pick up some beasts. There's an old abandoned pier there which is being dismantled next week.
Huh? It's more than abandoned. I'd say it's debauched.
It's wonderful to think of old Davy reaching his 100th birthday.
Yes, do that. by
There's a
all
few
means.
people would like to get across to Billabegwinny for the party.
Hmm?
Will you now be going across yourself, Peter?
I'm developing a very unusual sense of humor.
Well, can I be sure?
I'll see that the stuff is on the pier at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Fine, thank you. Goodbye. All right, let's go. I want to get there before it's dark.
Would you not prefer to put up here for the night? It'd be more comfortable, and we could bring the puffer along first thing in the morning.
Come on.
Right away. It's been a grand evening. You were quite right. The exercise has done me good.
Where
It's a fine day.
Where are we? Where are we on this thing?
We're just about there. That's Ben Harrogach over yonder, and that's Ben Nachroshy over there. We'll be in Lochmora under the hour, sir.
Morning, sir.
Right.
Will you not be having some breakfast, sir?
No, I'll wait till I get to,
There's plenty more eggs, sir.
No, thanks. I couldn't eat another thing. That's the biggest meal I've eaten in years.
More tea?
All right, just a little. Thanks. Don't they ever call you anything but the wee boy?
My name's Doogie, sir.
Doogie, eh? Well, Doogie, you can certainly cook ham and eggs.
Why won't you let the captain take the cargo for you, Mr. Marshall?
Because he caused me a great deal of trouble and expense, that's why.
I know he did. But why won't you let him take the cargo?
Well, he double-crossed me. He disobeyed all my instructions. He didn't pay any attention to anything I said. He behaved very badly.
But why won't you let him take the cargo?
Doogie, I could use a few people like you in my own business. You ought to come and go to work for me.
I wouldn't want to leave the captain. The captain's the best skipper in the coastal trade. Everybody knows that. There's no many skippers like Captain McTaggart.
You're so right. Tell me, is it true? Was the captain really born on this boat, or is that
Yes,
another...
sir, he was. Right here in this cabin.
Well, how did it happen?
Well, sir, the Maggie was just launched. The captain's granddad was the skipper. His dad was the mate. The captain was supposed to be born at Apple Cross, but his mother needed a doctor, so they was taking her across to Portree. There was a storm. So the captain was born right here in the Maggie. Why don't you let him take the cargo for you, sir? Captain, sir.
Aye.
Sir, look at the way she's lying. If the tide comes in, will she not catch you under the pier?
Hey, miss, slack her off a bit.
Wait a minute, sir. I mean, sir, if you left her the way she is, and the tide come in, would there not be an accident?
You're a good lad, Doogie. A good lad, and I'm not denying it. You'll be a skipper one day.
Tell Mrs. Marshall I'll be home tomorrow, definitely. Thank you. Yes, that's right. Goodbye.
All right, boys. I'll buy the drinks.
All right, let me in on it, will you? What's so funny? here, please. Look, the boat! Away to the pier! Come on, you! Move the boat out! Get going. Get in there. Do something.
Some trouble here.
Get in the window. Get in the window. Get the boat out. Move it. Move it out. You get busy. Out. Move the boat out. Do something with it. Move it.
Do you not think it will be better, all things considered?
Move the boat out. You're going to tear the pier down.
Mr. Marshall!
Don't me. I ain't going. Move it out. Out. Come on, man. Back. Move it back. Stop your engine. Bring it back.
What does he say? I can't hear him.
He says to take her back in again.
He says to back out!
In again.
But Mr. Marshall, how can I back her in? Was the pier there?
Back, you reckon the pier? It's back. Pier. Look. Move it back.
Well, they were going to dismantle it anyway.
Will you take a look at
Sir. Excuse me, sir. Are you Mr. Marshall, sir?
I'm no longer absolutely sure.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do for you, sir. We can't get your cargo out here, and we draw too much to end by the wharf.
I know.
No, there's nothing can get at it except, offer.
Of course, you understand, Mr. Marshall, I've every sympathy for you in your predicament, but, well, it wouldn't be in our best interest to take the job unless we were going the whole journey to Kiltara. And without meaning any offence, Mr. Marshall, it would simplify matters if you could see your way to letting us have the rest of our fee in advance. Well, John, set them up again.
He's talking to somebody in London.
I've never seen such a man for the telephoning. It'll be the American way, everything in a rush. Aye, but he's not a man that's at peace with himself. Anything wrong, Mr. Marshall?
You'll be amused to know that Mr. Pusey's now out of jail.
Oh, that's good news. I was very disturbed
You'll
about
also
that.
be amused to know that Mrs. Marshall's found out what I was doing. It's the last thing in the world I wanted to have happen. I want to sort of get a shave, and I was wondering if you could...
Peaky.
Mr. Marshall, there were one to your left, sir, and I thought you wouldn't mind if we dropped them off on the way. Take a show, Colin. Mr. McDougal, Mr. Marshall.
Yes, sir. South. Why are we sailing south?
Oh, we're taking on some coal at Bellabaquinny.
Yes, but isn't
Mr.
that...
Roger McDougal, Mr. Marshall.
How do you do? Isn't that out of our way?
Just a bit, it'll... Miss McDougal, Mr. Marshall,
Yes,
the owner of our cargo. It'll save time in the end, sir. Mr. Angus McDougal.
How do you do? I'm glad to see you.
Mrs.
That's
McDougal.
fine. I have an important phone call to make, and I'd like to buy a change of clothes. Have we time for that?
I think we might manage that, sir.
But, Lydia, how can you say it's a silly idea when you haven't even seen the place? I promise you'll absolutely love it. Now, it's beautiful, Lydia, dear. We can be there most of the summer. What? No, we can't talk about it like this over the phone. Darling, I want you to do something for me. Please fly out to Kiltara. I'll be there sometime tomorrow, and we can sit down and discuss it reasonably. Hello. Hello. Operator. Operator, we've been cut off. Operator.
I'm sorry, your party's no longer there.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've just wrapped these up for you.
How much do I owe you?
11 and 3.
Where are the others?
They're up in the village, sir.
Well, aren't we ready to go? Have they taken on the coal?
No, sir.
Hey, laddie, is Peter McTaggart there, or has he gone up to the party?
McTaggart.
Mr. Marshall, I was just coming to find you. I'm afraid they can't let us have the coal till tomorrow.
Sit down. Sit down. Look, I know you came here because somebody's having a party, but I just want to ask you one thing.
Well, it's old Davy McDougal, sir. He sailed with my...
Yeah, I know he sailed with your father, so okay, but I just want to ask you one thing.
Not my father, sir, my grandfather. Old Davy was mate when the Maggie was new.
All right. I still want to ask you one thing. Now, doesn't the job you're supposed to be doing mean anything at all to you?
Oh, it means a great deal, sir. We'll be able to get the Maggie's plates put right. I'm very grateful to you for the...
Then don't you think you should fulfill your contract?
What contract?
You're supposed to be taking me and my cargo to Kiltara.
But we are taking you, sir. You're almost there. It's only one day's sailing. If we're away first thing in the morning...
McTaggart, don't you realize if you fail to keep your bargain, I can stop payment on the check I gave you?
Oh, no, you couldn't do that, Mr. Marshall.
No? Well, if you don't get down there and get that thing underway right now...
You couldn't refuse to pay us.
Why wouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? Why couldn't I?
Because you're an honorable man, Mr. Marshall. I recognized you for an honorable man the first minute I saw you. Oh, there's nothing for you to worry about, sir. We'll get you there. And, Mr. Marshall, I've been instructed to tell you that you're included in the invitations.
Sheila, come on, it's the band. He's making this speech.
Eige fórle chéile naia. At the cast in a Sean knock at all of more Urumos. Our carriage car, Davy McDougal. How to eat a cute blue and Jew.
Kia Leon. Rokoto Maraherigna Koi like a Sasnik in 1853. I guess Washington and Jew, telegrams, I guess cables, Voyen on Singapore, Peggy on San Francisco, Norman on Bombay, I guess Sheila on New York. What the hell can take it home?
Mr. Marshall, will you not come in and join us? It's Mr. Marshall.
Excuse me, Mr. Marshall, yes, come away and you'll be made very welcome. It's old Davy McDougall's birthday and you must join us. And old Papa Mud.
Come in. Anna, give him a piece of cake.
A piece of cake for Mr. Marshall, Anna.
Robin, get a glass. 100 years old today. Come on, give us
Hey, Shock it, Mr. Marshall. Don't know us more America. I seen it in the opera. On your Costa. Shake hands with him, sir.
Congratulations, sir. Tell him, where I come from, we have a saying that the first 100 years are the hardest.
Porsche, je wil het graan Amerika, je wil kiet brengen en smissen. Na smissen en daarna kiet. Laat je voor wij, Davy. Spaant je wel.
What I can't understand is why you want to spend the whole evening with me when all those young fellas.
Oh, I can always dance with them. It's exciting to meet a stranger. Not many strange men come to Bellevue. Besides, it'll do the two of them good.
They've been watching you every minute. Who?
The one in the window is Donald McDougall. He's a fisherman. And the one in the door is Ian McCulloch. He owns the store by the pier. The question is, which should I marry?
Oh?
It's very difficult when you're only 19 to make such a decision. It'd be easier if I were older. I would know so much more. I mean about men.
Well, but how are you going to choose?
Oh, everyone says that Ian should be the one because he owns the store. And already he's planning to buy another on Collinsay. And people say that Ian McCulloch will be a great man one day.
And the other one? Donald McDougall?
He's just a fisherman who sails with his brothers when they're not all drinking or fighting or running after girls. He hasn't much money. He's not so handsome as Ian McCulloch. Everyone agrees to that.
Well, I don't want to influence you, Sheila, but it doesn't seem a very difficult choice.
You mean I should marry Ian?
If he really wants to be somebody, if he really wants to make something of himself, you want a man you know can take care of you and can give you the things you need.
Yes. Yes, it would be exciting to be married to a man who will do big things, a man who is going so far in the world. It would be exciting to be taken to places, to be given fine clothes and expensive presents. Yes, I would like all those things. But I think it'll be the other one I'll be taking.
Why?
Oh, it's simply that even although he's away with his brothers so much, he'll have more time for me. He'll not be so interested in what he's trying to do or where he's going to, because he'll just be fishing. And when he's come home from the fishing, there'll just be me. And when we're very old, we'll have only what we've been able to make together for ourselves. And I think perhaps that is all we'll need.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall. I thought you might like some tea, sir.
Put it over there. Where are we?
We're still in Bella Big Winnie, sir.
Oh, good. 1 o'clock. My watch must have stopped then. 1 o'clock. Why are we on the way? Where is everybody?
I think they're up in the village, sir.
Huh? What? Let's get this thing organized. Let's get out of here. McTaggart.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Marshall. Will you not come in and join us? A wee drop ale, do you know how
No, let's get going.
Oh, but you'll have just one, sir. I'm afraid you left the celebrations a little abruptly last night. But a hair of the dog that bit you, do
Listen,
you know?
McTaggart, I've got problems. My wife is waiting for me in Kiltara. I've got to talk to her right away. Now, let's get going. I'm serious.
Well, I'm afraid we can't go just at the minute, sir. You see, Hamish is missing ever since last night, and I'm very angry with him, sir. Very angry indeed.
Let's leave him. Let's get going.
Well, you see, what with Hamish missing, I thought you wouldn't mind. And I told Mr. McGregor that it would be all right if he went to visit his cousins. It's only a mile away, and...
All right, McTaggart, I've had just about all I can take from you. I'm warning you. If you're not on that boat in 1 minute and underway, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll ruin you.
I understand how you feel, Mr. Marshall, but you come with
Why,
me and...
you crazy old fool, you're drunk already.
Mr. Marshall! But Mr. Marshall...
I want to make a telephone call.
Where you to, sir?
Let me think of it. Central Hotel, Glasgow. I want to speak with Mr. Pusey. All right, McTaggart. You asked for it right from the word go, and now you got it. I bought your rotten hulk right out from under you. I bought it, don't you understand? The thing belongs to me.
You've bought the Maggie.
That's right.
But what are you going to do with her, sir, with a puffer?
I'm going to take my cargo to Kiltara. As soon as legal authorization comes through, I'm moving out of here, and I'll have no trouble getting a crew. You can come or stay just as you like. But as soon as I get my stuff landed in Kiltara, I'm selling that thing for junk.
Mr. Marshall, sir. You can't do it.
I'm sorry, Dougie. I'm tired of all this. I'm not interested in McTaggart's problems. I've got enough of my own. I don't care what you think about him. The man's nothing but a crook.
No!
He's a petty thief.
He's no!
He's a liar. Don't you understand that? He's lied and lied and lied. He's pulled every trick in the book. Well, he's pulled his last trick on me.
You'd better go aboard. I think I've killed him.
Turkey. Could I speak to Mr. Marshall, please? Calvin B. Marshall. He told me to telephone him at this number as soon as... He's what?
They say he's not available just at this minute, but you can leave a message.
Well, it's very urgent. Will you please write it down? I have contacted Miss McTaggart, and she refuses to sell in any circumstances.
Who is he, Doctor?
Nothing to worry about, but he must rest. I've given him a strong sedative. He won't wake until morning.
Hi, Skipper.
She wouldn't sail. With any luck, we'll have him in Kiltara by the time he wakes up. Best get underway. Come on, Doogie.
Well, how do you know, Mr. Marshall? That was quite a nasty accident you had. It was an accident.
The wee boy, Doogie, on board. Tell him I'd like to see him, will you?
He's awake, and he wants to see Doogie.
No, I won't see him.
It's all right, laddie. You better go.
You might have killed me, Doogie. Did you hear what I said? You might have killed me. Why?
You were taking the Maggie away from the captain.
I had every right to buy it.
You did not. And anyway, there was a message. Captain's sister wouldn't sell it to you.
What? Why not?
You wouldn't understand.
How soon do we get in?
An hour, maybe. You were going to leave the captain ashore without his ship. You didn't care what happened to him, an old man.
He doesn't care what happened to me or my cargo.
He got you here, didn't he?
After 7 days and nights
You were
alone.
going to take his ship. I'm sorry for what happened.
You are?
Aye, but I'd do it again. Maybe the captain was a bit slow in getting your cargo to Kiltara for you. You don't think much of his boat. Maybe he's not the best skipper in the coastal trade, like I said. But that was no reason to do what you did.
What's the matter with it?
I told you we would never get there. It's no my fault.
I told you.
I
told you if it gets hot, you do.
What do you mean if it gets hot? It's always hot. You feel it. Aye, and look at it.
Listen to me.
Oh, look at that.
You forgot to put on the
Look at that
saddle
figure, you'll never get it
Listen to
straight.
me, we're in dangerous waters, and the sooner you get back
Well,
there,
look
the better.
at the motion.
Will you stop that breath?
I tell you, I can't do everything. I tell you, we're sunk. We're sunk, and I'm going to abandon the ship right now.
Will you not be daft? I'll not abandon ship.
I'm not going to go down with the ship, I tell you that. Because
What's the matter?
No cause for alarm, sir. No cause whatever.
What's the matter?
As soon as she's at the bottom of the sea, the better.
What happened to the engine?
It's the connecting rod. We can't do anything.
Well, can't you fix it?
We haven't the tools, and it's no use
Go on,
trying.
go on. Let me have a look
She's
at it.
finished.
Go ahead.
We're finished. I tell you, we're finished. There's no sense in it go down there. We haven't even made down a prayer. It's a definite will go down to the bottom of the sea. That's what's going to happen next to us. Sunk. We might as well abandon ship right now. I've been at him for years. He never listens to me. He wouldn't spend a penny. He wouldn't do anything I asked. The boiler hasn't been cleaned in nearly a year, and she's showing salt everywhere. The boiler
Fix that
valves are...
wedge.
The wedge? Aye. All the boiler valves are leaky. He never gives me any waste or paraffin, and the slice and the rake are almost burned away. And look at the fire bars. I've got coal dripping into the ash pit. I've no soap nor soda, not even a decent chisel. You ought to hear what Hamish says.
Hold that wedge.
Even the mooring ropes are falling to pieces. The ratlins are gone. The bogie funnel smokes. We can't even eat decent. The spanners don't fit and we haven't any paint. She'll break. You'll never do it. You'll tear the engine apart. You'll never do it.
Give me a monkey wrench. A monkey wrench. Oh. Get ready to turn on the steam. Go ahead.
I turn on the steam. Aye.
Hamish! Hamish, get the hatches off and go down there. See if she's making any water current. Robbie, is she showing anything in the engine room?
It's a big leg. She's sitting solid.
What are you going to do?
There's nothing coming through yet,
Then
but...
get the winch started. Toogie, give a hand with the lifeboat. The tide's on the turn now. It'll be on the ebb within the hour.
She's dry enough, Skipper. I can't get the sealing up under the cargo, but I think she's sound.
Then give a hand with the lifeboat and get her over the side.
Can't you get her off at the engine? It's all right now. I fixed it. Can't you throw an anchor over and kedge her off or do something like
Not when
that?
she's 2 feet up in the rock, not when the tide's on the ebb.
You mean you're going to abandon ship?
Your cargo will be safe enough, sir. When you get ashore, you'll be able to get to Kutara within half an hour. Right, Hamish? You can arrange for another boat to come alongside and tranship. You've got 12 hours. There's plenty of craft about.
Well, won't the tide set her down harder on the rocks?
It'll be falling away and there'll be no damage to your cargo. Not till the tide's in the flood. You best get off, sir. You go with them, Doogie.
No, Wait for me!
But what happens then? To the boat, I mean.
Oh, she'll not be able to take that sort of punishment. It'll break her back. Well, we got to within 5 miles of Kiltara. It wasn't too bad for an old puffer.
What if we jettison the cargo?
Sir?
What if we threw the stuff overboard?
But you can't do that, sir.
Just
You
answer the
cannot
question.
Throw it overboard. She's nearing high tide. If the wind held outside, the tide might not go away. We might have a chance. But you can't be serious, man. It cost you more than the boat's worth.
Throw the stuff overboard. Don't worry, it was bound to happen. It was the only thing left that could happen.
Skipper.
Just one thing I forgot to tell you, sir. What with one thing and another, I'm afraid we never got round to the business of insuring the cargo.
I want you to understand something, and I'm serious. If you laugh at me for this, I'll kill you with my bare hands. Throw it over.
I don't understand. I don't understand. The cargo? Mr. Marshall. Where's Mr. Marshall? Mr. Marshall?
My wife here?
Yes. She's up at the house.
Mr. Marshall, they sent me out to try to find a payoff for the story, but this is really something. What happened?
Don't ask me, I couldn't tell you.
Mr. Marshall, there is just one small problem, if you could give us your opinion on it, apart from expressing our appreciation of...
All right, McTaggart, forget it.
Well, we were wondering, sir, as there was some misunderstanding about whether we should have carried the cargo in the first place, and as, owing to various circumstances, we took somewhat longer than we planned in getting to Calcutta, and as, unfortunately, we didn't insure the cargo, and especially as the cargo's all lying at the bottom of the sea.
Well?
We was wondering, sir, if perhaps you might feel that it would be right if we offered you your money back.
McTaggart, in the 7 days I've been with you, that's the first thing you've said that made sense.
If you're not going to pay us for doing the job for you, so we could have our plates put right, why didn't you just let us sink the rocks? You might as well.
Oh, thank you.
That was very nice. I hope we'll meet you again.
If you ever want another job done.
Goodbye, Mr. Marshall.
Goodbye, Mr. Marshall.
Goodbye, Mr. Marshall.
And good luck to you.
Have you ever heard of a puffer called Calvin B. Marshall?
Getting the boat stuck in the rocks. I'm making no accusations. Accusations? Well, accusations. You. I'm making no accusations. You're accusing me. You're not even fit to be the skipper of the Govan Ferry.
Mr. McGregor, I'm giving you a warning. It's a sense of